Hey, you're now streaming live.
Right? It
Yes.
finally worked. It just didn't want Kaylin to do it. So it took a minute. Sorry, we're about 3 minutes late getting started, everybody, but we're excited to try these wines. Welcome back once again, week 61 of our virtual tastings with Becker Vineyards. I, of course, am Rebecca Nelson, wine club director at Becker. Kaylin Hall is with me as always, and Bobby Totten is also joining us tonight after a short hiatus, our assistant tasting room coordinator. And we've also got, of course, John Leahy, our winemaker, and our owner and proprietor, Dr. Richard Becker. I believe Dr. Joe Becker is also going to be joining us in a little while as well. So we have a great panel tonight. And we're going to be talking through our May 2021 Red Premier Wine Club selections that just went out to our Red Premier Wine Club members. 2 out of these 3 wines are brand new releases. Haven't had them before at the winery until the wine club pickup parties. So we're really excited to dive into these. We're going to start tonight with the 2015 Prairie Roti. And I'm going to turn it over to our gentlemen that are going to take it away. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, Rebecca. Thank you. Thank you. Week 61, is that correct? Is that what we decided before we went on? So, yeah. Doc, would you like to say a few welcoming words, sir?
I know, and the welcoming words are always a thought about this pandemic which is the reason we're here, really. And just to, again, acknowledge and thank all the people responsible for waging this war. Some progress in the United States, some real light at the end of the tunnel. I think as more and more people are vaccinated, I think it's going to be less, our life's going to return to normal. It's terrible in other places in the world. And only 2% of Japan vaccinated, and South America just a nightmare. So it could be awful. I hope that we'll catch up. But anyway, I'm honored to be here to tasting these wines that you've made, and John, and they're brilliant. It'll be fun to talk about them.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. So I've actually. We've tasted the 15 Prairie Roti a couple of times in the last couple of months, and it's really nice. And again, if you're first joining us, feel free. We've still got some. You were saying, Rebecca, we've got just a few hundred 6-packs left before it goes to the library. So now's the time to get it, and it's brilliant. We bottled it in 2017 after aging for 2 years, the blend, and it's aged in bottle a further 4 years now, and it's just brilliant. So. This will be the first one if everybody wants to grab it, swirl it, sniff it, and give it a taste. And then we're going to have Bobby lead us off this time. We're going to put Bobby on the hot seat.
All right. Yeah, the nose on this, I mean, it's so just floral. I mean, a lot of floral characteristics, almost like some violets and just some really nice bright cherry notes, like bright tart Bing cherry notes.
Mm-hmm.
Some currants. Almost get like a little bit of a anise or like a star anise note to it. And the palate is just, that fruit is right there. I mean, it's so prevalent. Even though it is an older vintage, that fruit is still right there, bright and tart, and just very expressive. And then get a little bit of that, almost that hibiscus characteristic in there. A little bit of that anise right on the finish. But I think it's a beautiful wine. It's very versatile.
It has. I love the nose on this wine. Mm-hmm. Okay, Kaylin, you're on the hot seat.
Yes, every time. It's like I had no idea I would be asked questions.
Yes, exactly. It's okay. After about 6 months, you'll get used to it.
You would think. One would think.
Right.
So right on the nose of this for me, I've got a different glass than what Bobby's got. I'm picking up like bright cranberry, maybe something a little like meaty or smoky. It's very beautiful. Maybe some clove. Some kind of brown spice somewhere in there. I'm not committed to clove just yet.
You're not committed to clove.
Committed.
No. But like Bobby said, the fruit is right up front in your face. It for me is giving lots of bright cherry, cranberry, just very bright and tart red fruit. And it's beautiful.
Fantastic. So I feel that this wine is fairly fashionable. And as such, I would like to go to our fashion coordinator, Margaret, and ask her opinion of this wine.
Yeah, Mark, you're on.
Oh, you guys.
You should have left.
I
at the
love it.
chance.
You should have run out of the room before
Yeah.
Margaret,
will
we
say I
really like
loved
you.
I love this wine though. I will truly say, and I think again, with the weather warmer, it's a great red wine for the warm temperatures. I'm agreeing with the cranberry nose.
Mhm.
And I'm getting a little bit of that allspice is what I would say toward the finish.
Mhm. So it's a good thing that Kaylin wasn't completely committed to clove, because now she can allow allspice into her repertoire. So thank you, Margaret, and thanks for letting me pick on you.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yep. So if anybody's interested, I'll be on the unemployment line next week. And so, Doc, what are your impressions of the wine, sir?
I love rolled wines, John. I think this is one of the best wines we've made. And how much Mourvèdre in this? It's blended with some of the other some of the Bordeaux wines like Merlot, but also Barbera, and also Barbera.
Yeah.
Interesting blend. How much Mourvèdre?
So the Mourvèdre is about 25%, and
Uh-huh.
25% Carignan in there as well.
Right.
We did kind of a non-traditional Rhone in there to kind of beef it up a little bit on the back end.
Right.
Because we did add, we added a little bit of Merlot to it for that velvet, for that softness. But
Yeah.
one of the things I absolutely love is playing with Barbera. And so there is a little Barbera in here. And before anybody who's a true Rhonophile starts screaming for the pitchforks and the lit torches, I'm just going to tell you right now, Barbera's got beautiful fruit. So, and it works in this blend. So
I wasn't sure what you were going to say there, John. I was hovering over the mute button. I wasn't sure if you were going to be mean to people.
I am never mean to people. I just tease the hell out of them. But yeah, the Mourvèdre in this wine is just beautiful. I'm looking down at my cheat sheet, courtesy of Rachel. Again, we all owe Rachel a very dear thank you for keeping us all in line. So it's the Mourvèdre from Reddy Vineyards. So this, the Mourvèdre from Reddy's place is a very, very late ripener, coming in for harvest, probably one of the last 2 lots of the year, to be honest. So the years that we're able to get it, it is just absolutely brilliant. And this wine is no exception. 15 was a wonderful year. 17, of course, beat 15, but 15 was, in the early decade, was the prime vintage until 17 came along. So let us not forget that. 15 was a wonderful year. Okay, you're up, Rebecca, Miss Mute.
Everybody said all the words already.
You got to come up with some new ones.
Here's the thing. I 100% agree with a little bit of what everybody said. I definitely get cranberry. I definitely get violet. I get either clove or allspice, whatever, one of those brown spices, one of the brown baking spices. All of those things fit in this wine. I really also get the herbaceousness on the palate that I really, really enjoy. And that for me is the note that I typically get after our Prairie Roti has aged a little while. I remember when this was first bottled and it was super jammy and really, I mean, the fruit was just unbelievably in your face. And for me, I needed it to die down a little bit on that. And right now I'm really loving the combination. You still have the fruit, it's still very prevalent, but you also have more of that herbaceousness. And I really like that blend of those different types of flavors, personally.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that, Rebecca, because that's exactly what Barbera does. So Barbera on its own does not last forever. You know, if you get 5 years, 6 years out of a Barbera, it's pretty good. I mean, it's very, very light in tannin, so very light in structure. So it's not generally considered a wine that will last a long time. There are, of course, exceptions to the rule. But Barbera, what it does in a blend is it does bring out that fruit. So you get a young wine that's very fruit forward. It's kind of screaming in your face for another punk rock concert. And then, as it grows up, it settles down for finished death metal, and then it mellows out into Anya.
Or Yanni.
Or Yanni, yeah, right. But yeah, I think that's where you get the more maturity out of it as the Barbera tones down. So that's where I think it comes from on there. But I absolutely love this wine too. So I don't think it's a bad glass of wine. I'm trying to keep up with the rolling comments here. Somebody has joined us with a 2018 Dolcetto instead. Well,
A few episodes.
blame you on that one. I'm just saying.
What did I send to my mom recently? Is it my mom?
Okay, so fair warning, everyone. You know you're going to have to come up with food, and no matter what you guys come up with, I'm going to ask Kaylin last, and she can't repeat anything. So it's got to be unique. Does that put you on the spot? Yeah.
I'm ready for this challenge.
You're ready. Right on. Doc, Prairie Roti, the Rhone, and I think we might be visiting there sometime, maybe June of 2022.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
So any advice? Okay, so we're going to be doing the cruise in June, end of June of this coming year, 2022. We'll be hitting the Burgundy and the Rhone. So for that part of the trip, what wines would you suggest people try besides our Prairie Roti? What other wines do we have that you think they should try in preparation for this?
Wines that are made there, or wines made by us?
Either one.
Gosh, well, yeah, I love the Rhone wines. I love the Grenache. That's the dominant red in the red Rhones made around Avignon and Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Those are just great. They're light in color. They don't feel they need to add anything to make them darker. They have just that's one of my favorite wines on the planet. Of course, I love the white wines of the Rhone. I love Roussanne, Marsanne, and Viognier, as you know. And so any of those made from the top to the bottom of the Rhone. I love the rosé from Bandol. I think maybe the best rosé on the planet. And of course, the northern Rhone, Viognier, has been a total inspiration to us. And then the Syrah made in Saint Joseph, Hermitage. It's just a feast of great wine. Hard to miss.
I agree. I agree about the Bandol as well. And I would willing to experiment where we could do a lot of trials side by sides on all our rosés with a selection.
That'd be fun.
So I got sidetracked here. Margot just asked, no, we're not on the D'Estate. We're on the Prairie Roti. That's has a little Barbera in it. She was confused. She came in late. And Rebecca, your mom says, no. I don't know.
Okay.
Is she out of wine? Does she need more? Is that what she's saying?
Send an
Mom,
SOS.
if you need wine, send a signal.
Does anybody have anything else to add to the Prairie Roti?
So personally, Prairie Roti for me, that was my introduction into red wine here at Becker Vineyards when I started working here. And I think it's got a near and dear place to my heart. I think the 2012 Prairie Roti is really what kind of pushed me into over the edge for dry red wines. And I think this is a great introduction red wine for anybody that is looking to kind of try in the avenue of dry red wines.
So Kate, your daughter will be sending you a case of wine at her expense for you since you said all that.
On its way, Mom.
Okay, well, with that, shall we go on to the 18 D'Estate?
I am so excited to get into this wine.
Well then, Rebecca, why don't you lead us off?
Well, I didn't mean that.
You're making my job very easy.
We've all been talking about this since we released it a couple weeks ago, and we're all just really enamored with this wine right now. It has such amazing flavors. It's got blackberries, it's got on the nose, it's got some fig is one of the things that I really picked up on. And I almost get almost like a brown sugar. It's really incredible. And I just love you get not only the fruit, but you also get the floral, but it's not overpowering. It's not just, super, it still has a lot of depth of flavor, even though it is so young, so bright, so fruit forward. You still get the nice, there's enough tannin on this already, right now that it's not, to me, overly fruity. And I really like this one a lot.
Oh, man. It's almost a cinq cepage. This is nice.
That's right. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's so complex and yet kind of integrated that, it's not just Cabernet, it's not just Merlot, it's not just Petit Verdot. Beautifully integrated. This wine is going to be spectacular. I think it is now, and it's going to get better. Lovely.
Yeah, I was a little homesick for some really nice, complicated wine, I guess. So I want to touch base before I get everybody else's input here. So for the D'Estate, it was on 30% new oak, and of that, 26% of it was American oak, and 4% of it was French. So it's almost an inversion of what we'd normally do for a single vineyard cab or something like that. So Bordeaux wines love American oak. I'm willing to argue with anybody over this one. They really, especially the Cab Franc and the Merlots, they do extraordinarily well in American oak. If that American oak is seasoned correctly and toasted correctly, and we happen to deal with, we deal with several coopers, but we have one in particular that does American oak so very well. Yeah. Of 1 year oak, it has 50%. And I don't know what's happening.
There we go.
Got a voice generator going on or something.
Yeah, yes, right? Can I try it with Luke? I am your father. Okay.
There you are.
Doc D'Estate.
Well, it's amazing. I'm trying, and it's to have this. I have the fig notes and the brown sugar and the molasses and the dates. All those notes are. I think what's coming is the great sort of saddle leather and forest floor and all that kind of hummus stuff that's going to happen in this wine. And when that happens, I think that the fruit's going to be amazing. It's going to be like Aubryon. I think that's where it's headed.
I'll hit on the blend here since I just got a question. The Cabernet is 70%, Merlot is 14, Petit Verdot is 11, and Malbec is 5.
Wow.
Is it just me, or is my voice coming across really strange?
Every once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaker or something? I don't know.
Right. Okay, Kaylin. Impression.
I'm going to piggyback on what Rebecca and Dr. Becker said as far as like fig and dates and brown sugar molasses notes. But I also do pick up, I'm going to say purple flower. I know that's very vague, but that's a safe zone for me. Purple flower. And then I'm probably violets, but I also get quite a bit of pyrazine, both on the nose and on the palate, which is right up my alley and is something I really enjoy. So I was excited about the wine the first time I tried it, and I get equally as excited every time we get into it. So I'm happy it's here in front of me in a glass.
Absolutely. You know, there's a fair amount of glycerol in here too. So that mouth development is going to continue over the next decade without a problem. Absolutely. Provided it's stored correctly. Okay. Bobby, have you given your impressions?
Not.
You're up, buddy.
Definitely getting that chocolate on the nose, like a dark chocolate, getting that molasses and all that other fun stuff. Kind of reminds me of like almost like a gingerbread cookie.
Yeah. Yeah, gingerbread, ginger.
A little
Sure.
ginger. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of the ginger. Yeah, and then that blackberry, that fruit just kind of sneaks in right in there. Then little hints of vanilla that just kind of sneak in there right in the finish. But this wine is just, it's so great. The depth, how it lingers. I mean, it just lingers on the palate. I just almost chew on it. It's it's good.
So I got a question. A question from our table. How many wines does Becker produce? All of them.
A lot.
Yeah. Currently, we have 42 SKUs. So 42 separate labels, depending on what, whether it's in the general marketplace of distribution for our wine club wines or the winery only wines. They're a total of 42 SKUs current. So we don't produce all of those every year either. So there's that. But currently, that's what we have. I see that this wine is very fashionable as well.
Hey,
Hey, hi, Margaret.
Jonathan.
Wow. Are you enjoying the wine?
I really love this wine. I truly do.
Good.
And I think I would say that I'm noticing the dates in this a lot, and then I see the fruit come. What is it? The fruit compote, where it's all blended. They've been baked. They've got a kind of a neutral, softer, jammy kind of taste, and I think that's what I'm tasting in this. It's wonderful.
Mhm.
Nothing I could say that it's just fabulous.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And thanks
Yeah.
for letting us pick on you.
Our only option is to like hit the ground at this point.
I
Wouldn't
tried.
that be funny? Just dive. Margaret on the go.
Yeah.
Look at that. Switches the camera over. He's done.
So, Bobby, I have a question. Since you're in the tasting room and this is new to our tasting menu, what's the feedback you're getting from the customers? Is it one that they're surprised by, or are they all really digging it? What's the consensus?
Yeah, they across the board, people are really surprised by this wine. They just they can't get enough of it. I think this is the most sold so far since we've added it to the lineup. Yeah, this is definitely one that kind of has been going quite frequently. So yeah, everybody really enjoys this Desate. I know that people have mentioned, oh, we've tried, the wines and whatnot, and we know that label. We've, had the previous ones, but then when they try it, they're blown away by the depth and the flavor. So they go away with multiple bottles.
That's what we like to hear.
Rebecca, how much of this do we have left?
We just released it, so we have a fair amount of this one.
Okay.
Hold on.
John promised me he made a decent amount.
Let me see if I have it here. Looks like we bottled 1,400 gallons, so 700 cases, a little less than 680, 700 cases. So 12-pack cases. Of course, this is in 6-pack, so it's double that.
So then we have probably about less than half of that left.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because we shipped it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still available if anybody's interested, and then we will save a little bit for the library, so we'll have to put some aside for that. Somebody just asked, or stated, I've never tried bramble fruit, and I wanted to make sure that they were just being sarcastic when we say bramble fruit, or if they know that we're talking about raspberries, blackberries, loganberries, olala berries, cloud fruit. Let's see, what other brambles are there out there?
No, it's just everything that grows on a brambly bush.
Yeah, thorns, brambles. They're great for Peter Rabbit to hide in against that stupid farmer who keeps trying to get him. So.
For real.
Yeah.
I've been reading a lot lately.
Good midnight reading.
Yeah.
Leave a lot of Peter Rabbit. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was my sister's favorite book when she was like 4.
Okay.
Never read a
Who's the
classic.
author? Who's the author, Smarty Pants?
I didn't say it was my favorite book.
Oh,
It's my sister's favorite book.
Okay. Just saying. Everybody loves Beatrice Potter. All righty. Shall we move on to wine number 3?
Oh, okay.
Fantastic.
But Jen, before we leave this wine,
Yes, sir.
let's some of the old cabs that we were doing in our library tasting. Rebecca, you did a bunch of them. When you taste them, they had a real wow note. That's what this is going to have. In 5 years, this is going to be. Where did all that come from? It's just going to continue to deepen and kind of integrate, and it's very impressive right now, I think. We've not sent either of these last 2 wines, the Estate or the Wilmot 18 Wilmot 18 cab, to any competition. I guess we're about to do that.
Yeah,
It'll be fun to see how this wine does in competition.
Yeah, so the 2 of the big 5 don't actually start accepting entries until next month. So they will go out. And then, of course, the rodeos coming up as well. It'll be in the fall when they go out. So we're right in a lull in between time before releasing. And it's actually a good time to release the wine now, so it gets over bottle shock before we start sending it out, which it's been bottled for a while, so I don't see any shockiness in this or the last couple of times we tried it. So it looks like it's pretty good.
Wonderful.
Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so 18 Jet, Wilmoth, Cabernet Sauvignon. Anybody want to venture?
John, you go first.
I think we should start with Dr. Becker.
Oh my goodness! Let me taste it for a second.
Woo, got him on the hot spot.
Boy, this is also wonderful. I need to be able to say something other than how much I love the wine. I mean, it's just it's great. Tell me how this was blended, John, if at all.
Yeah, so we take it out of the barrel.
I understand that, John. But percentages of cab and you crush the berries and okay, yes.
Yes, thank you. So besides being a smart aleck, there is just a tiny amount of Petit Verdot and Merlot in here. So it's 96% Cabernet and 2% Petit Verdot, 2% Merlot.
Wow. All from Jet's.
No, the Petit Verdot actually came from Drew Talent's vineyard.
Okay.
He's got for me the go-to Petit Verdot. Between him and VJ Reddy, the 2 of them have the Petit Verdot. Now this one also I did not follow I wouldn't say standard, but normally I try to put some cab and a little newer oak every year. This particular one, when the fruit came in, was just absolutely gorgeous, and I wanted that fruit. I really wanted that deep, dark fruit from it. So this only went into 5% new oak. So normally I'll put it 20 to 30. This went into 5% new oak. However, 70% was 1 and 2 year old barrels. So there was still some toasted edges in those barrels, but they lying towards the more neutral end of the spectrum. So not toast up in your face, because we knew we were going to age it for a couple of years.
Again, this is beautiful fruit, and when I think about a fruit bomb from Napa, The fruit is different. This is the fruit from the Texas wine vineyards, and the wine is more subtle. It's intense, but it's somehow it's always in more balance. I always feel like it's the great. I love California cabs, but it's like hitting a gong. I mean, it's this is a totally different. Have you got one?
I've got a gong. I really do. It's an North Korean gong. I should have. Oh man.
Next on Becker Vineyards, the Gong Show.
Oh, I'm totally ringing it at some point in time. There's one rule in my house. I get to hit that thing as much as I want.
Can we get back to the wine for a second?
Where's that mute button?
Yeah. No, I have to, Doc, I want to write on that comment that you just made about the subtlety of the fruit in Texas, and it really is. It's deep, it's rich, but it definitely is very subtle. And I'm pretty sure doggone it, the gong has disappeared. I think you may have an ally in Jody.
Jody, thanks.
Thank you, Jody.
I saw Jody's reflection.
I did.
Oh.
So this is more Bordelaise than the New World. It's all New World, of course, but it's more Bordelaise than Napa. And fun to watch this stuff evolve. I think the California winemakers that have given you so many gold medals for this, like this subtle statement of fruit. Strong, but I think more subtle than generally in Napa.
All I can say, it's probably a good thing they didn't know they're giving it who they're giving. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Cab Merlot, Petit Verdot seems to be the holy trinity of blends. What does Petit Verdot bring to the blend? I'm guessing Merlot mellows it a bit. Yes, Merlot does mellow it. It's what I call velvet. It's like a velvet blanket. It's very soft and muted. It allows a lot of development in mid palate. A really good Merlot is actually fruit forward, and the tannins in the Merlot form longer chains, or they mature quicker than in Cab or Petit Verdot. So you get it's almost getting an older than vintage wine for the aging process. The Petit Verdot has a lot of those deep notes, like Kaylin mentioned earlier, purple flowers or violets. That is indicative of Petit Verdot. The pyrazine that we talk about, which can range from anywhere from bell pepper to jalapeno to grass to chocolate or coffee. That's the high end of pyrazine, goes from this grassy or herbaceous note up to chocolate and coffee. That is all the same chemical balance. And that's where you get from Cab Franc and Cabernet Sauvignon. So those are how those flavors in general develop. This is not a fast, hard rule. That this is just a general rule of thumb, just so to speak. So I hope I answered.
The finish on this wine is just an intense fruit and kind of coffee chocolate, combination. It's going to be fun to watch this grow and age.
Oh yes, it will. I feel like on episode 120 we should bring this back.
Wow.
Another 60 to go, or 59 to go.
Yeah. Okay. I think, well, first of all, I want to just touch base on this, the jet. What are you laughing at? Okay. Oh.
There's no one there. No.
Doc, that's not very nice.
Hi, John.
I'm Margaret on the go.
Margaret on the go.
We tried. I don't know.
We can't control his camera.
Being a bad boy, yes.
That's awesome. Doc, Doc, I like your sense of humor.
I used to.
Oh, oh goodness. Oh, well, you know what time it is?
Food pairing time.
No, it's
Oh.
dad joke time.
It's,
No, look at just the threat of it makes Rebecca cringe. Yes, it is food time.
Gonna keep drinking, it'll be fine.
I guess I'll be fine. Yeah, exactly.
it's come to that.
Oh, okay. I want you to pair at least one of these wines with a dish. You can do all three if you want, but and Kaylin gets to go last, and she can't repeat anything that anybody has said. I know. I make up the rules as I go along. Did you notice that?
Every week they're different.
What makes it so special?
Bobby, would you like to go first, sir?
I can definitely go first. I was thinking with the roti, gyros,
Ooh, I like that.
right? Yeah, nice kind of grilled lamb, the tzatziki sauce. I mean, nice bright cucumbers in there. I don't know, the distate. I was thinking maybe like a beef bourguignon or a stew. I mean, just something rich and hearty. The cab. Thinking fajitas.
Mm.
Yeah, I could do fajitas with the cat.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, Miss Smart Alec. I mean, I'm sorry, Rebecca.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Margaret.
No.
No. You got this job.
I really want duck with the tostate, and I really want lamb with the cab. Those are kind of my two go-tos. I always say Thanksgiving dinner with a prairie roti. That's going to be my end all be all with that prairie roti. I just love it from start to finish on the table. So with the tostate, I really think duck would just be beautiful, and I think lamb with some mint would be wonderful with the cab.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Dr. Becker, what would you pair?
Well, the Prairie Roti is such a beautiful red wine to my palate. I remember we spent a week one time, a bunch of people from the winery. We rented a house near Axe, and every day we would come back with things we bought at the local supermarket. Always wonderful sausage, kind of the spicy stuff that you get that people eat in that part of the world. Lots of herbs de Provence, and this wine would be wonderful with that. Things cooked out on the grill, chicken and sausage and pork and whatnot. This would really hit the spot. The estate, I think, is a wonderful Bordeaux, and I think I'd like to have maybe lamb with that. Maybe gosh, there are lots of good things. Maybe a wonderful soup on a cold day. It would be great with that. And the Wilmot Cab is going to be one of the best wines we've ever made, I think. And I think that's to be determined, but along the same lines.
Mm-hmm. All right, Margaret. Food
Yes,
pairing.
John.
What food might you pair with this wine, ma'am?
All right. With the Prairie Roti, because everybody really has had great suggestions so far, I think I'll go with the triple cream cheese. We haven't heard that.
Yeah,
Yes.
great choice. Yeah.
And I think because it's warm outside now, I think that they make a smooth, very rich taste. The combination between the two will bring out the taste on the finish there.
Mm-hmm.
And then with both the Desante and the Sauvignon, Cabernet Sauvignon, I'm a big believer of the Barefoot Contessa has a great recipe for lamb with the goat cheese, and it is right up this alley. So, and again, you take a sip, and the taste in your mouth will change several times over, and it's so welcomed. It's wonderful.
You mentioned the Barefoot Contessa, and I absolutely love her. She taught me how to make caramel.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. I love the caramel. Yeah. Caramelized onions.
Yeah. Okay, Kaylin, you're up.
John, you haven't gone yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, with a 15 Prairie Roti, I would pair it with a glass of Viognier. D'estate, I would definitely pair this one with a nice, robust oak-aged Chardonnay. With the 18 Jet Wilmoth, I'm going to go a little lighter on this one. It's not too many calories. A nice Sauvignon Blanc.
There we go.
Nice. Well, Kaylin's been distracted this whole time. Both of my dogs have come over and are demanding that she pet them at the same time, and they're not the same height. So,
But I have a wine drinking hand, just, to.
so she's like
Save my
petting one
nose.
and then petting the other, and then petting one. And petting the other.
It's hard work, but someone's
So hot dogs?
No, I've thought about this thoroughly. I think for the Prairie Roti, have you seen the portobello mushroom steaks where you make a steak style mushroom? I think that was beautiful.
Yeah.
I think with the Cab Sav, I'm going to pull one from Brett Purdue's book, beef tenderloin, of course, be fantastic. And then y'all mentioned caramelized onions. And then I was thinking maybe a little dollop of blue cheese on top for good measure. And with the 2018 D'estate, I was almost thinking some kind of like blackberry, raspberry tart. A la mode, of course, with a little caramel would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going that route.
Sounds really, really good, actually.
That does sound really good.
Still all waiting for our tarts from Carolyn.
I thought this was a good segue.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we're going to be waiting for a while for some reason.
I'll just mention it forever.
So next week, what's up online for next week?
We went back to the library because that's where we have so much fun. So next week we've got the all wines from 2012. So we have the 12 Barbera Merlot. That was the original D'estate, but we couldn't call it that. So that was the Barbera Merlot. And then the 2012 Cabernet Sauvignon from the Canada Family Vineyard. And then the other 2012
It was a non-vineyard designated reserve cab that was in the tasting room, but not in distribution.
That's right. It was, yeah. So all three were in the tasting room. Actually, when I first started.
The 12 Barbera was still a tasting room.
Yeah.
In the Canada.
Yeah. All three of them were still in the tasting room when I first started.
I'm going to interrupt you because Carolyn just said, what? Because she doesn't know that she has to bring us those turnovers.
Still waiting for the turnovers. It's been over a year, ma'am.
I'm going to exchange a bottle of the D'estate for a turnover.
Oh.
Just going to throw it out there.
Oh, exactly.
I'll also say that I just found out today that the 2017 Cabernet Franc is almost completely gone. What we have in our tasting room is all that we have. So for my fellow Cab Franc lovers, I'll be expecting your phone calls shortly if Kaylin and I leave any.
One for you, one for you.
So Susan's asking how early they should decant next week. And I would like to tell you, Susan, that if you could decant an hour and a half before broadcast, so 4:30, that would be ideal. Even a little earlier wouldn't hurt them. So they're all going to be pretty closed in, and they do need to be decanted. And thank you for that, Susan, for asking, because I completely forgot to tell people that. So they really should be decanted before enjoying. So they've been in their vessels for a number of years, and they'll definitely need a little bit.
John, I had to do the really difficult part of tasting them to make sure that they were, still really nice and things that we wanted to send out to our customers. And so I tried all three last week. And
Rebecca, I'm really sorry. So I'll tell you what, because I've been shirking my responsibilities, you no longer have to taste any wines. I'll take care of that for you.
Thank you so much. I feel like I should still probably double check because maybe your palate isn't the same as the club members. And I feel like I kind of speak for the club members.
Oh,
I'm kind of like the Lorax of the club members.
Speak for the trees.
For the club members.
Okay, so any other business coming up that we need to discuss? Any firm dates on anything?
They need, wine club members need to make sure that you look at your emails tomorrow, and that's all I'm going to say about
Okay, nice little tease. I like it.
it.
Any final words, Dr. Becker, sir?
No, I'm just proud of what's been done here, and I love the staff that doing this program tonight. It's a treat to have you all here. Thank you.
Thank
Very
you.
welcome. I would like to say cheers to everybody. Thank you again for allowing us in your homes for this hour, 45 minutes or so. And good health to everyone. Next week, we'll see you again. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Cheers.
Oh, wait a minute. I got one more thing. You haven't gotten on live, have you? Just one last thing. If April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring?
Pilgrims.
Pilgrims. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.